What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing a blowing up Toronto Raptors rebuild. Before we jump into this video though, guys, if you could leave a like and of course subscribe if you have not already, helps out the channel grow. Really appreciate you guys for that. And I have started a Matter rebuild channel if you're interested at all. Links in the description. So to be honest, as of right now, we're kind of getting into the slow season as far as rebuilds are, just because we've already done realistic rebuilds. There's trade rumors, but we're not quite to trade season yet where trades are going to be made. So we're kind of just stringing along here, and we're blowing some teams up, I guess you can say. As some teams maybe that would be active at the trade deadline is kind of what we're doing here. So the Toronto Raptors are one team that could potentially be trading guys like Siakam, Fred VanVleet at the trade deadline, which are the two guys that I'm definitely trading here today. As far as anyone else, I don't think I'm going to trade OG. I don't think I'm going to really, I mean, we might trade someone else as well, because if this is going to be a blowing up rebuild, of course, we got to trade, I feel like, more than two people. So we're going to try to do that. But for the most part, we obviously are going to keep Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr., but everyone else, I would say, is available. Even OG Anunoby, although I'm going to probably lean towards not trading him, obviously. So right now, we're actually the 4th seed in the East in 2K, but in real life, they are a play-in team right now. So that's why we're going to try our best to get the best possible package for Fred VanVleet and Siakam to start things off. And of course, there can be more trades to be made, but we're going to start with these two. Additionally, today's video is sponsored by Prize Picks, which is a DFS player props app that's matching up to a $100 deposit when you use my code Crushables. Let me show you. Prize Picks is a DFS app where you're literally facing no one other than the numbers. You're just facing the projections. Let me show you some of my past entries. So on this one, I decided to do a power play where I decided to bet the over on Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes. The power play was able to 3 times my money, and Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes were both able to hit, which mounted me to $150. On this one, I did a flex play with LaMelo, Fred VanVleet, Joe Harrison, Gordon Hayward. Unfortunately, Joe Harris was only like 3 points off. If he literally hit one of his threes, I would have walked away with $100. So unfortunate, but that's just what happens. But I didn't walk away with nothing, as I was still able to win $32 after only betting 21. So I didn't walk away with nothing. So you can decide whether or not you want to do flex plays or power plays. Feel free to use my link in the description. Of course, you can always ask me on Twitter if you have any questions, and use my code Crushables when you sign up. So the first trade we're going to be making is sending Goran Dragic and a second round pick to the Dallas Mavericks. So I've been interested in Goran Dragic before. Now, ideally, I would like to get like a second round pick for the Mavericks. I don't think Goran's worth the first at this point, but we are getting a rotational big man in Dwight Powell, which we kind of need. So I'm going to go ahead and be okay with getting Dwight Powell, I guess. That's going to be the first trade we made. Nothing crazy, but we did get rid of Goran Dragic in order to bring ourselves in a big man. The next trade I'm going to be making is sending Fred VanVleet over to the Boston Celtics for 2 unprotected first-round picks, Bruno Fernando, Juancho, and Al Horford, who obviously is going to be a huge part of the future, but the Celtics get themselves a point guard in Fred VanVleet, and we walk away with 2 first-round picks and a young center in Bruno Fernando. So nothing spectacular, but at the end of the day, we are walking away with 2 unprotected picks for Fred VanVleet. So to be honest, I've been here for quite a bit of time trying to make a really good Siakam trade, and I just cannot make one for the life of me. I really can't. I mean, this one was the most intriguing to me, and I just don't understand why the Spurs would want to take on a 27-year-old Siakam, but we would get a 25-year-old DeJounte Murray, which sounds awesome and all, but I'm just not sure why the Spurs would do something like that. So unfortunately, I just can't come to an agreement for Siakam. I think he's going to have to stay till the offseason, because if I don't, I'd be trading him for trash, and I know Raptors fans would absolutely torch me in the comments. So I tried to not to do that. But other than that, I don't think there's really anyone else that I'm really looking to be like, oh, I got to get them out of here. So those are the only 2 trades we're going to be making. Obviously, a Siakam trade is still coming. That was the one I really wanted to make here at the trade deadline, but it just isn't there, man. I just can't figure out a good trade for him, and I just don't want to trade him for nothing. So already trying to make like a realistic trade in 2K without trade override is tough. You're just not going to get equal value. It sucks. It's just the way it is in 2K. But I can't just trade him for nothing, basically. So now that we pretty much have traded Fred VanVleet and Goran Dragic, the only 2 players that I'm a little disappointed by that we weren't able to trade more. We have Scotty Barnes and Siakam still playing center, Al Horford. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and run this season. Not really sure what to expect, but we'll go ahead and figure it out similar to the end of the season. And let's just go ahead and see what happens. So even after all the trades we made at the trade deadline, we still ended up making the playoffs as the 6th seed in the East. So we have to feel pretty good about that. But unfortunately for us, we are playing the Toronto Raptors. Siakam only had 18 points per game on the season. Gary Trent Jr., Ojeanobi with 14. I definitely need to fix the shot tendencies after these moves are made. But still in the playoffs, and we are going to maybe beat Philadelphia. We did. Okay. Wow. So we ended up going to the second round, and we beat the Philadelphia 76ers, which is a good accomplishment. But we did lose to the Los Angeles Lakers. So, again, still need to trade Pascal Siakam here. Would have loved to have had a lottery pick this offseason, but unfortunately for us, it's not going to happen. So, now that we are on the draft night, hopefully throwing Siakam in the trade finder, we get better offers, or just trying to make my own trade, we can make a better trade. Because the only good trade that I could come up with, and it would have made, I don't know if it would have made a ton of sense, but Cleveland offered me 2 first-round picks, and basically, and I get Kevin Love in return, who I would just release or whatever. But just because those are the guys who have big salaries who aren't worth much, so that's why it's kind of tough sometimes. But unfortunately, I just decided not to go with that trade. So now here we are, just in the offseason, of course, looking to trade Pascal Siakam, which we are going to be doing eventually. But we are going to go ahead and sign the staff real quick, and let's go to the draft. So on draft night, I'm going to try my best to get the best package possible for Siakam. Obviously, with no trade override, it's going to be hard to get the best equal value for him like you would get in real life. The struggle has been absolutely real trying to trade away Pascal Siakam, to be honest with you. I just cannot, for the life of me, figure out what is the best package. So I am looking at this in a realistic aspect, and it's tough to do that in this situation because I'm just not getting good offers, and I can't make a good offer happen. So let's just run it down a little bit. So Deni Avdija, Davis Bertans. We could obviously maybe trade Siakam for this, but then we would need to get like more than this. This isn't good enough. We're not going to do it for that. So that would suck. Middleton, Grayson Allen. I guess if the Bucks wanted a different look, but Middleton does nothing for us as far as a rebuild aspect. Well, not really a rebuild, but more of a young retool, I would say. The Cleveland Cavaliers could give me an expiring Kevin Love and first-round picks, which I would be fine with. But we'll move on from that for now. We might have to come back to that. The Kings, I've tried to make something work with. I've tried to get Halliburton, but that's just impossible. Isaac doesn't make sense for the Magic to take Siakam on. And this is one of the best ones I've seen. Cameron Thomas is a pretty young stud that could maybe be something in this league one day. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would want first-round picks as well, and I don't think the Nets have any picks they can trade away. So that one's tough too. It's tough out here. There's not a ton that we can make happen. The Suns, I guess, we got Mikal Bridges, the Pistons. And then this one's interesting as well. We could get a 24-year-old Brandon Ingram and Herbert Jones. I mean, the Pelicans have been in the rumors of potentially wanting to trade Brandon Ingram. And if they thought maybe Siakam would fit better next to Zion, maybe they would do something like that. I don't know. And then the Nuggets, maybe they're concerned about Michael Porter's back, so they trade him away. And obviously, that's not a concern for us in 2K. But let me try to go to this one first before I do anything else. And let me just try to grab as many picks from Cleveland as possible. That's like the only thing I can think of. So they want Usman and Boban Marjanovic, and we get 4 first-round picks. So we just drafted this guy, it looks like. We had a draft pick, and we just drafted him. Which we needed a guard, and he is a guard that we're definitely going to need. But at the same time, we are getting literally 4 first-round picks. What if we did this without trading our guard? Let's say instead we threw in Dwight Powell, maybe? No, they can't afford that. Okay, Dwight Powell's money is gonna be a little too much. So we took Gene Montero as well. Okay, so we had 2 picks in this draft. I didn't even realize. So we have Gene Montero. Okay, so I guess one of them is a little bit expendable. So I accidentally skipped past the draft for some reason. I'm not sure why. Just to try to get better offers. I didn't think we had a good draft pick anyway, and I was totally wrong. So that is my bad. But I guess, I mean, they drafted who maybe I would have taken anyway, so that's fine. And I've never drafted these 2 either, so I guess it's a little bit of a different look. So I guess we could technically trade one of them. Precious Achiuwa we could also throw in here, but I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the original offer they had. Not Gene Montero. I'll bring him. I'll keep him. So we'll go ahead and do this. And okay, what was the original trade? Let's try. So we were trying to get 3 first-round picks for this. So let's do this. Offer this again. And we get Boban, and we get 4 first-round picks for Siakam and a young guard we took. So you know what? 4 first-round picks, as I see it, for Siakam from Cleveland. We didn't get any young pieces. I think that was decent. I think it was a decent return. Now we can go straight to qualifying offers. So let's go to the draft real quick. And so we got Gene Montero, and I think we got Deng in the 2nd round, or I'm not sure. Where did he come from, actually? I guess we drafted him at number 22. We drafted Gene Montero. Okay, so we took back-to-back guards. So one of them, I guess, was a little expendable. So sure, you know what? I feel pretty good about what we just did. So first round picks for Pascal Siakam. I think we stayed patient enough to make a good trade. So now we have Gene Montero, Malachi Flynn, Gary Trent Jr., Delano Banton, OG Anunoby, Svi Mikhail, Luke Osman, Scotty Barnes, and Kevin Love and Precious Achua. Now, one thing I'm going to do, of course, is I'm just going to cut Kevin Love. I'm not keeping him, so really no point of having him here. So we'll have that going for us. And just like that, I feel pretty good. We definitely still need some upgrades, but at the end of the day, I feel like we walked away with a decent return that I liked. So Aiden, we're not going to have money to sign anybody like that. So let's see. Is there any money to be like, could we throw Mitchell Robinson a contract? We can. I'll throw him a 1-year deal. Let's see if he accepts that. We have Mo Bamba out here as well. Maybe Mitch Robinson would agree, and he does. So we get ourselves a center who I think we could start and rely on a little bit more than just Precious Achua. So, okay, not bad. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, yeah, pretty solid. The only thing I do want to do is obviously with the Siakam and Fred VanVleet being gone, OG Anunoby, you pretty much got to take over this team. Scotty Barnes as well, of course. I want him to take some shots, and then Gary Trent Jr. As well, throw him in there. So, all right, that is going to be the team going into season number 2. Now that the headache is gone with Siakam finally being gone, that was a very tough trade, but I feel like we made a decent one. I feel pretty good about the trade we made. Scotty Barnes, OG, Gary Trent Jr. are the future of this team, and let's see what this team's going to look like going into season number 2 now that we've made all these trades. And we have a plethora treasure chest of first-round picks. So hopefully it was all worth it, and we'll see what happens. So an absolute W just happened, as obviously we made all those trades and are still making the playoffs. MVP goes to Giannis, Hunter Salas Rookie of the Year. Siakam is your 6th man on the Cleveland Cavaliers, Giannis Defensive Player. Garland's your most approved, and Willie Green's your Coach of the Year. So we don't even have our franchise point guard yet. I mean, Gene Montero could potentially, become one, but for now, not really sure how sold I am on him. But player stats-wise, Scotty Barnes averaged 20. OG Anunoby with 19 and Gary Trent Jr. with 17. Gene Montero averaged 16 points per game. So, yeah, maybe he could become something for us. So, that's a W. Svi Mikhail with 14 and Achua with 11 and Osman with 8. So, not too shabby. Simulating current round, or simulating play-in, I guess I should say. And now we get to play the Atlanta Hawks. So, can we beat Atlanta in the first round? Highly doubt it, but at least we've made it. So, simulating current round, and we lose in 5. W, that's fine. The fact that we're even here is awesome in itself. So, we got the Memphis Grizzlies going on to win the championship. So it looks like Fred VanVleet and Siakam are battling each other in the NBA playoffs or Eastern Conference Finals. That's a W. All right, let's go to the draft lottery. So Cleveland and Boston are both in the postseason right now. So we're probably not going to get like a draft pick that's going to be high. But we are going to have, let's see, pick number 21 and 25 from the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I don't think we have the Celtics pick this year. So, okay. We had it last year, I believe. So now, staff-wise, still looking fine. Let's go to the draft. So on draft night, we had the 21st pick in the draft, which could lead to some good. We have nobody under contract. Well, I guess we have 2 picks, I should say. So let's go ahead and try to see if we can draft somebody that would be, obviously a really good addition to the team. So we have Ozzer Thompson, Jamin Brakefield. We have a nice backup power forward if we want to take him here. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, even though I can't say his last name. I'm pretty sure, or his name at all. Pretty sure he's pretty good, though. And then we'll take Jazeen Gortman, I guess. And then, how was that? How was our draft? We took a 76 and a 74. Not too bad. Player options, we got Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr. actually declined, which is weird. And then qualifying offers, Fernando, Delano Banton. Guys I do want back. So let's go and get, of course, Gary Trent Jr. back, who we don't have his bird rights, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can even re-sign him. We do have the money to afford a guy like Bradley Beal, though. Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's make this free agency way more interesting. Okay. We have Gene Montero. We have no shooting guard right now. OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and then Precious Achua. So we need a big man. And, okay, so centers-wise, we have Valanciunas, Miles Turner, Christian Wood, Bobby Portis, Mitchell Robinson, of course, we could just bring back for $25 million. Miles Bridges, Dylan Brooks, Bradley Beal, man. Imagine we brought Bradley Beal in. Ooh, we have some cap space, actually. Okay, so it looks like, you know what? Jokic would be fun as well, but I just couldn't see him coming to Toronto. So, let's see. What are we going to do here? I think Miles Turner would be an interesting addition to this team, and he wouldn't cost us a ton of money. So we'll go ahead and offer Miles Turner a contract. We'll also offer Garrett Trent Jr. contract, who is asking for quite a bit, but that actually, I think, gives us still like $20 million to offer. So let me double check that. So Miles Turner and Garrett Trent Jr. are going to be 2 players that would be great. So we still have money to offer, like $20 million to offer on the table. So we have Gene Montero, Gortman, we have Garrett Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes at power forward, and then Miles Turner and Precious Achiuwa. So solid right there. So now we basically could pretty much use this on anything. I mean, for the main thing, we kind of need a point guard. So let's go ahead and bring back, no, I'm just kidding. Fred VanVleet would be fun if we brought him back, but not going to do that. So Kevin Porter Jr. is interesting. Jalen Brunson is interesting. We could just roll with the guards we have, though. And then shooting guard DiVincenzo. We definitely kind of need to fall off the bench, though, a little bit. So I'm cool with running with Gene Montero, who had a pretty good season for us. So maybe we just instead sign a wing player for like a decent amount of money. Like Dylan Brooks would be fun. Oubre, Lou Dort, Cameron Reddish sounds like fun. DiVincenzo, Oladipo, LeVert, Michael Beasley, Jordan Poole, Anthony Simons. Anything like that would actually be pretty solid. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and offer. Let's offer Dylan Brooks a contract. Why not? 2-year deal. Dylan Brooks, scrappy. I like him. And never mind, he goes to Houston. Okay, fair enough. Instead, maybe Lou Dort would be fun. Lou Dort for 3 years. Have him as a backup option. Yeah, why not? We'll have Lou Dort come in. So, we'll also have Steve Mikhailuk and Delano Banton coming back, I believe. So, David Johnson, Delano Banton. So, Delano Banton is going to be our backup shooting guard. So, I'm glad we didn't really go with the shooting guard because Banton can fill that role. So, all right. Let's go ahead and simulate season number 3. And let's see how the team performs now. So, we got Miles Turner, Garrett Trent Jr. Guys coming in that I think are going to, maybe push us back to the playoffs. And Scotty Barnes probably developed even more. Power ranking lands is number 10. Here is our rotation. They want to start Gortman, interestingly enough. So Gortman's going to be the starter, I guess. Garrett Trent Jr. Lou Dort's going to start over your OG on Anunoby. I don't know if I can get behind that. Proficiency-wise, perimeter-centric. Okay, is that why? All right, let's move this to a balanced, and let's see if that would change things. I don't know if I love the idea of Lou Dort starting. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. We're going to put OG Anunoby back in here. Gortman, I guess, is fine. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. Hopefully, we can make the playoffs again. That would be very fun. So, Jason Tatum wins MVP. Rookie of the Year goes to Azar Thompson. Christian Wood's Rookie of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defense Player. Then J.D. Davidson, Most Improved. And Willie Green's your Coach of the Year. So, we ended up finishing up as a 2nd seed in the East, which is awesome. Pretty much. We love to see that. If we go ahead and look at the player stats real quick, that way we can kind of see how it looks. Player stats. 25 from Scotty Barnes, absolute W. OG Anunoby with 18. Garrett Trent Jr. with 16. Gortman had 16. Achiuwa with 11. And Gene Montero with 10. Lou Dort with 9. 8 from Miles Turner. And 6 from our backup power forward. So, here we go up against the Charlotte Hornets. So, we are playing LaMelo Ball and the Hornets. So, winning current round against them. And they won game 1, but we ended up beating them the next 4 games and beat them in 5 games. So, now we get to play the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, Herter, Talen Horton-Tucker, Collins Capella, Reddish, Nkongwu, Hunter. So, yeah, pretty solid team, obviously, in Atlanta. So, this could go either way. And then we still have, it looks like Fred VanVleet and Siakam still going at it with each other. That's a W. All right, so winning current round against Atlanta, and we are going to beat them in 6. So, now we get to play Fred VanVleet and the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Fred VanVleet, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Grant Williams, Robert Williams. Okay, I made the Celtics pretty good by giving them Fred VanVleet. Let's see if that matters. All right, here we go. Game 1, we're up 1-0. So, can we beat Fred VanVleet? Gortman matched Fred VanVleet's production and got 22 points. W. All right, so winning through game 2, we are down, or they evened it up 1-1. Scotty Barnes 20 and 14. Let's see if we win game 3. Game 3, we're up 2-1. 113 and 101, 27 and 11 from Scotty Barnes. Can we go up 3-1? And we cannot. All right, what about game 5? Big game 5. We win. Can we win in 6? Yes, we can. We're in the NBA Finals. Let's freaking go. We get to play the Golden State Warriors. So, we have Steph, Clay, Whitehead, Kuminga, Wiseman, Davidson, Jordan Poole, Claxton as well, Moses Moody, and Draymond Green. I literally have nothing to lose here. Game 1, we're up 1-0. Game 2, we're up 2-0. No freaking way. 3-0. Let's freaking go, baby. Just like that, the Toronto Raptors, after we just blew them up a little bit, are going to go on and win the championship. As long as we don't blow a 3-0 lead, of course, but you never know with this game. So if we did, I would be an absolute shambles. Can we celebrate in front of the Golden State Warriors home fans? That would be fantastic. 109 to 112. It is a very, very close game. Let's jump in here and watch the rest of it, shall we? You got JD Davison at the free throw line. So basically the Warriors have 3 guards out there right now. We need to respond. We're down 1. Gary Trent Jr. is going to be running the point guard, it looks like, or running the offense at least, going to take it up. And we got nothing really happening right now. Gary Trent Jr. just kind of dribbling it. He's going to take it to the basket, maybe shoot over Wiseman. He did and missed. What a terrible, terrible offensive possession. Not good at all. 117 to 118. They are in the lead, by the way. We have Stephen Curry. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's probably about to cook, and then they throw it to Wiseman in the post. Of course, Gary Trent Jr. playing defense on him is not going to... Oh, okay. Wiseman actually missed that. So kind of bailed us out there, and we got Gortman taking it up. Can we get a screen from someone here? Where is Scotty Barnes in this situation? I need a screen from Miles Turner right here. Okay. Come on, Gary Trent Jr. This is for you. Take it to the basket. He is going to make it 119 to 118. Big shot from Gary Trent Jr. Let's see what Stephen Curry is going to do to respond. We got Gortman guarding him. Hopefully, Gortman can clamp him up. Playing decent defense. Stephen Curry to the basket. That's just good offense, obviously, by Stephen Curry. Can't be too surprised by that. We're going to come out of the timeout with a good game plan, though. I believe in. 34 seconds left. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully, Scotty Barnes is out there now. They did not put Barnes back out there. All right, well, at least we have OG Anunoby in the corner, I guess, and Gary Trent Jr. So, what the? We just called another... Why? Okay. You know what? Fine. I think he wanted to give me another opportunity to put in... It's not even going to let me put anyone in. Okay, whatever. So, back-to-back timeouts for whatever freaking reason. That was really stupid. Okay. Let's see if we can... Okay, we were able to go backcourt. I was a little nervous there. All right. Let's see if Gary Trent Jr. can respond to Stephen Curry. We almost had a wide open Gortman there. We're going to get a screen. Klay Thompson is going to steal the ball from Gary Trent Jr. and going to make this a 3-point game probably. Klay at the free throw line makes the first one. Is he going to make the second one? And he does. Okay. Well, another timeout from us. I'm getting sick of the timeouts really quickly, but obviously we no longer have any timeouts because we used back-to-back timeouts earlier for whatever reason. So, all right, here we go. Miles Turner going to inbound it. We got our best shooters out there, I would like to think. All right, here we go. Gary Trent Jr., I'm going to need you to do something better than what you did last time. All right, just kind of dribbling it up. Gets a screen. He's going to shoot a 3, and he's going to miss it. That is going to be the end of Game 5. Or Game 4, I should say. So we're going to have to try to win this in 5 games. Okay, so the Warriors won their 1 game. Can we beat them in 5? And yes, we can. Just like that, we are going to win the championship. OG Anunoby with 20 points. As your finals MVP, 41% from 3. W of a rebuild, I would say. So, we were able to win the championship with this roster. Scotty Barnes led us to the promised land. Absolute W of a rookie. He has a huge career ahead of him. Thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. And peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.